In a commitment to our nation and to its men and women in uniform, President Trump has officially reinstated service members who were discharged under the Biden administration for refusing to take the COVID vaccine. These service members will receive full benefits and even back pay, and it is all in an effort to bring back well-rounded excellence in our military, while also putting our soldiers and veterans first. To break down what a game changer this is for our armed services, Mickey Shelton, Ambassador of Veterans for America First, formerly known as Veterans for Trump, joins us now. Mickey, what does this executive order mean to you?
Thank you for having me. Absolutely. And first, just disclaimer, this is my own views and own opinions, not of any of my employers. But this is a huge game changer. Promises made, promises kept. I actually spoke to the president at a private dinner a couple years ago. And once I brought that to his attention, he told me he was going to give service members back pay and full benefits. And here we are right after he won his presidential election. And I think it's really just built a lot of confidence back in our military. And we're already seeing this through the recruitment numbers. They're experiencing 35,000 already since he's been in office. So a huge game changer.
Certainly, especially since we saw such a dip under the Biden administration. And for the most part, these vaccine mandates were seen, and I know within the community, as almost this filtering mechanism for the Biden administration to really try and actively push out those service members they felt were going to be the most trouble. And my question to you is, what's the scale of this? I've seen numbers between 8 and 20 and 30,000 service members who were affected, actively pushed out. What is the ultimate number here of how many men and women were affected by this and actually pushed out by the Biden DOD?
I've also seen a lot of conflicting numbers myself, but I think there's no way to truly know that unless there is a study done or if they investigate that, because you look at the 8,000 number that they had pushed out that it mentioned in the executive order, you got to think about members that retired early because of it. They didn't want to get the shot, or you got to think of people that did not re-enlist. So there's a myriad of other different things and variables that you're going to have to look at to really see the scope of how it affected our men and women in uniform and our military force. So there needs to be a study done so that they can see the effects of what that's caused during Biden's administration moving forward. So that way we can be a lethal and ready fighting force for the future with our enemies on our doorstep.
You raise a very important administrative point. A lot of people, and I know them, a lot of people and a lot of service members left the military without saying that the vaccine was the reason, but ultimately, if you spoke with them privately, that was the reason. But that poses an administrative issue here because all of a sudden, if you're trying to determine who gets back pay, you're not sure who left because of the vaccine candidly, and it wasn't on paper, and now suddenly you may be motivating those who did leave for just genuine, retirement reasons. Suddenly you may be motivating them to start coming back and saying that they left for vaccine reasons when they didn't. How do you sort that out?
The DOD, they need to look into who was affected and how they were affected. And again, it misses a lot of other points, such as, adverse reactions to taking this vaccine, which gets into some other areas as far as VA disability, which I don't think it really hits on. But I see that as being something in the future that we're going to have to look at with these affected service members. But again, there's going to have to be some type of study done to really see the implications of what that COVID vaccine mandate caused. And until we do that, I don't think we're really going to have the full scope or all the answers we need to really determine what the correct course moving forward is.
It's such an interesting conversation. I know that there was a lot of tough legal battles that were waged in support of members who left for religious reasons or left for just the fact that they didn't want this vaccine in their bodies. But there was all this history of, if you enlist in the military, you have to do what they say. Such a nuanced conversation. We appreciate the fight that you guys have been putting up out there, and what a victory for the men and women that your group represents. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
Coming up, we are making artful language great again with Sean Farish. Stick around for our word of the day up next.